G-spot, Alice. What do you have to say about the G-spot?
I don't know. I don't have anything on that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You asked me this earlier.
You are familiar with this, right?
I'm familiar with the concept. I don't know.
Well, what's the deal with it?
I don't know.
What do you mean I don't know? Why are you discussing this?
Why are we talking about this?
Because it's a great place.
Oh.
Yeah, the spot in Georgetown, Alice.
Oh.
There's a bar restaurant called the Spot in Alice in Georgetown. We were yesterday. It's a great place, and the popular colloquialism, as a matter of fact, is the G Spot, Georgia Spot.
Georgetown.
Georgetown, right? Georgetown Spot. So anyway,
I did not know that.
You didn't really? What an innocent life you live. Well, that's what they call it. Correct.
Oh, good to know.
It's a great place. If anybody's ever up here in a part of Massachusetts that you never knew existed, then check out a place called Georgetown and the Spot. G-Spot. Which is right down the street. And Alice and I, it's actually maybe I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they have the best chicken wings of any restaurant and bar.
You think
or
so?
Restaurant or cafe. Yeah, I thought they were so good. So good. I thought that we had the pork belly. I thought that was horrific.
Well, it just was not being pork belly. It was trying to do something else.
No, it was being candied yams or something. Didn't make any sense. But the chicken fingers were great. I got selfish with the pork belly. And tonight we were at people do ask how we're at so many bars with so many kids. None of your goddamn business, okay? We just are, okay? It happens. Don't worry about it. We're fine. We're perfectly functional in this family, all right? And
Everything's great.
Everything's great and financially sound. There's no looming disasters that are going to pop up in any number of months at all. I think everything is absolutely perfect. So, but one of the things that we noticed there yesterday at this bar. One, it was kind of packed, and so if you want to know, Alice and I are trying to do more things together. As you know, we're heavily.
Our therapist told us to.
We're in therapy together, and so one of the things we need to do is we hit the ground running in 2010, 13 years ago, and we've never stopped. We've always been having kids or buying houses that we can't afford or doing this and that, and it's been a rolling cluster. We literally are not truly and fully unpacked from moving into this house 5 years ago.
Right. There may be things we never unpacked from moving into our first house.
Yes.
Whatever that was, 12 years ago.
Yes. We have been seat of our pants. So we're trying to spend some time to get to know each other just in a out socializing kind of way with each other. And so and I really enjoy it, as a matter of fact. And I think you do too, Alice. Mm-hmm. So, because
the 4-year-old missed me a lot while I
Yes.
was gone.
So as you can see, yes, the 4-year-old who, by the way, if my wife and I ever try to be romantic, uses a battering ram against our bedroom door to try to knock it down relentlessly. It's incredible. It really adds to the romance.
To the mood, yeah.
Oh my god. So anyway,
he doesn't like me to be away from him.
Yeah. Well, sit tight, my little friend. So anyway, so we were there and we noticed, Alice noticed because she was falling in love with them, that there was 2 babies, a bunch of people probably in their 20s or 30s, probably 30s, were behind us, like 6 people, and 2 little babies. They must have been just a few months old, I think, both of them, right? And then 2 other people came in, and they came in with their little baby, who was definitely a newborn, maybe a month old.
Yeah, super newborn.
Yeah. And Alice was just taken by the baby. She loves babies. And one of them, I got to admit, was kind of cute. But other than that, I'm not a baby guy. I don't like babies.
3 babies in one bar.
Right.
Can you believe it?
Right. And so we saw them, and I was just thinking how when I was in my 20s, and when a friend of ours used to bring her baby into the bar, we used to go to the Hub Pub in Boston, that we'd be like, oh, man, what a buzzkill. You're bringing your kids in here. It's like babies into a bar. Like, we were all single young men then, most of us. And then there was, and it was, I just hated it. I thought it was so inappropriate. But I've got to say, now, I am all about having kids in bars. Bars aren't what they used to be. It used to be, I think, even 20 years ago that a lot of times a bar was simply a watering hole where guys would go to get banged up and maybe try to hook up and whatever. But now it's like it's a great atmosphere for kids. First of all, nobody smokes in a bar anymore. Second of all, I generally think that the drinking has subsided. I mean, when me and my crew were going to bars in the early '90s, we would almost without fail be blotto within a few hours. It was just like it was a stupid exercise in idiocy. I find that it's less so like that for a lot of. Now it's just different, and also maybe the fact that this bar is in Georgetown, Massachusetts, not next to Boston College. Maybe that's a factor. But I just think things are different. People are different.
Yeah.
But also, a bar is such a great place for a baby. It's nice and loud. There's stuff going on.
It's usually kind of darkish.
There's bright TVs in the corners. The people can. Parents can have a couple of beers, which parents, oh my God, need. No, definitely at that age.
Mm-hmm.
If at that age, the sleep, especially for the moms, if you're a dad like me, sleep is out of the question for a lot of people, and that's the only bit of like solace they can get is like just getting themselves together, getting the kid in a car seat, going or the baby seat thing. Thank God I don't have to worry about that anymore, Alice. My goodness, I hated that. And then getting out and taking kids out, and so. I think it's great, and I celebrate it, and I'm all for it. I think it's such a natural fit, and I don't and also here's another thing.
It's more the slightly older kids that are a pain in restaurants. Like babies are not a big deal.
Right. Yes, the kid who was just assaulting you, he's a big deal.
He's a terror in a restaurant.
He's a terror. He has sorry. He's wonderful. He has problems with any place we go. If he knows, and this has been a thing forever. So now we have 4 kids. Thankfully, it'll stay at that number. I'm sure it will. That he knows, he can tell when the rest of us are content. This is all of our kids have always been able to do this. Tell if everybody else is content, one kid will be the designated a-hole. And we'll say, okay, I'm going to disrupt things and make sure there's not a consensus here. And so I will raise hell. And so one kid usually raises hell and essentially rolls a grenade into the occasion. And then one of us has to go into the car with the kid while somebody stays in the restaurant. And it always ends in total chaos. But I think it's good and healthy. And I love it. I love that you liked seeing all the babies.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Because
the bar we were at today, no babies, strangely.
Yes, and actually the bar we were at today was more of it was Pub 97.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that we've been there before. And the bar, we were in the bar section, so a couple dudes had been spending some time in there, no doubt, talking about his AR-15 and yelling and like whatever. I had no problem with that either. It's a bar,
Mm-hmm.
You do. I think if we had probably kids with us, and they weren't safely with a qualified and registered babysitter like they were, then we would probably sit on the other side. But it's kind of fun, and you would like the idea today. You said, "Oh, it's nice and loud over there."
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's fun to escape to that. So anyway, it's just a trend that I like. I don't like many trends, but I like this. I like here's the point. When I was 22, and me and my guys were 22, we kind of owned the part of the bar we were in. We knew all the waitresses. We were there way too often. We tipped huge. And so we felt an ownership. And so when some parents who were tourists, came from the Union Oyster House with styrofoam lobster hats and sat in the bar and with their kids, and
people didn't really.
Oh yeah, here
there.
And there. Yeah, here and there. So we were like, oh, what? So, but I feel like now, if young people have a problem with kids being in the bar, well, it's tough bleep for you, dude. Us parents with kids are going in and spending money and tipping.
Right.
Like we're not you. We're not zillennials who are looking to see what 16% is off of a craft beer. We're doing it. I still think that you and I, not you and I, but certainly not you and I accept us from this. But other people our age, or my age and your age, because we're different ages, still go out and still probably have a few beers and maybe a couple of cocktails, and it's could be over $100 or $200, whatever, depending.
At the spot it sure was. My goodness.
Yeah. But that's so. But but we're tippers. We're spenders and tippers, and that's the thing. And that's why I don't think that like 20 somethings. I just don't see them. I don't see them knowing tipping as well as we did. And if they do, if there's somebody who got right out of college and went right to MIT and then right into Google, I think they have no human interaction, have no idea of what it is. But anyway, I was all for it. Alice also did something I love yesterday.
I did.
Which is what my friend Dana does. Is Alice saw a woman with nice hair and went over and asked her who cut her hair.
And unfortunately for me, who is looking for a good haircut person, the woman said she cuts her own hair. So, but because I'm picky about haircuts, I haven't had my haircut in like 2 years because I haven't been happy with anybody who's cut it, and I'm sick of going places and having haircuts I don't like. So, but now it's grown in a whole bunch. So, I reached out to a friend and got some.
You did
tips of where places to try.
Oh, good. So, so did you have? There was a story about kids in bars that you had.
Not just bars in particular, but restaurants in general, too.
Okay.
It's a big topic again. Because, well, a New Jersey business decided, it's called, like Nettie's Spaghetti something.
Mm-hmm.
In New Jersey, a New Jersey Italian restaurant, Nettie's House of Spaghetti, issued a statement across social media accounts that beginning in early March, they will no longer allow children under 10 to dine at the restaurant. They said that it's like to help out the staff.
How so?
They said that it's because they said Nettie's pointed out that people with kids should tip more.
Tip more.
That people with kids, yeah, I mean, because there's more cleaning up.
That's true. That's definitely true.
The restaurant's Instagram caption explained, "We love kids, we really truly do, but lately it's been extremely challenging to accommodate children. Between noise levels, lack of space for high chairs, cleaning up the crazy messes, and the liability of kids running around, we've decided it's time to take control of the situation."
Yeah, so we've had that nightmare too, and you guys with kids know that, where our kids have trashed the floor around them. And, like, we try to pick up some, but eventually you just, like, throw them some money. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, you just tip $50 and call it
And
a
I
day.
understand. I guess they probably know their clientele. And if kids are going to be loud and disruptive, then... But then again, usually parents know. Usually you won't bring a kid to a restaurant that's tranquil and quiet and romantic. My God.
And usually... So, I think I'm okay with restaurants banning kids if they want, and restaurants that allow kids. And I think there's places for both experiences out there in the world. And certainly, I don't think I'd bring my kids to a bar like at night.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, at like 10 p.m., I'm not going to have my kid at the bar. Right?
Yeah, you won't be popping along Lansdowne Street, probably.
I mean, right? Like, there's a time and a place. There's places to have your kids. But I don't actually, even though I'm a big fan of bringing kids everywhere, and I think kids should be welcome, like, in a lot of spaces, I don't have a big problem with a restaurant deciding they don't want to have kids there.
No. And they know their clientele, and if they're going to... If they want people to have a certain atmosphere and the food is a certain quality, then you can't have, the kids just making it hell for everybody. It's very tough.
Right, because, like, we've certainly been there where our kids get out of control in the restaurant. And we tend to have a pretty low threshold where the kid will then leave the restaurant and be sitting in the car with one of the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants that when they go out to a restaurant.
No. All right.
So I'm actually okay with that in general. Like, I guess I'm kind of playing both sides a little, but
And I'm also fine with, and we're going to a wedding in the summer, I'm also fine with people not wanting kids at weddings, even though it's a pain. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Well, I think it's weird to have a wedding where, like, at least close relatives' kids aren't allowed.
Who cares? Why would you want ratty
because
kids
that's
around?
Like a family thing.
I guess so, but also, like, people...
John in Wakefield says also no kids under church or at planes. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I also think kids should go to church. And
we've done this nightmare before. Alice is perfectly fine if one hellion runs around while I try to chase him at church, which is why I stopped going to the church. Our
and
3-year-old
left me
became,
alone to do it by myself.
well, no, it's your choice. You didn't have to do it by yourself. You could just not go to church. Like I chose not to go to church because it was a rolling cluster event with our 3-year-old who was just disruptive. He's now better, but still wouldn't be great at church. He just really young kids don't do church well, especially that church. I think where there's
No. I think that church is perfect for them because it is more like tolerant to people walking around and stuff.
It is
Orthodox
definitely.
churches are.
Definitely.
There's like
But
more going on and it's more active and it's not just like stay in one spot.
There are people rolling in. The service is about 4 hours long, and there are people rolling in
Not 4
at all
hours.
times. Like in my church where I grew up, it was 10 to 11. The First Congregational Church in Winchester. You got it at 10. You were dismissed by 11. You were drinking punch by 11:03 out in front, and that was it.
Well, you're supposed to get there on time at the Orthodox Church too, but there are some cultural issues in lots of
That's
Orthodox
supposed to be?
churches. In lots of Orthodox churches, people struggle to make it there on time, but
You sound deflated tonight, Alice. What's wrong?
nothing's wrong. John Wakefield says that he grew up with Protestants, and the Catholics make the kids stay in church, and the Protestants would send them out for Sunday school during the service.
Yes, we had
That's
that
also
too.
a thing in Protestant churches. But yeah, no, the idea being in the Orthodox churches, you're supposed to be at church. Like I never heard of that of like kids leaving the service until way later.
They'd
I've
be
never
ejected
heard of that.
for re-education. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the kids are supposed to be in church. But they also don't have kids do communion. We have kids do communion, so they have to be there for that.
Oh, right. Yeah. There's
So-
no lights and buzzers.
But that's
in
the point of the
Congregational
church.
church. It's nice.
But communion's the point of church, though.
It is?
Yeah.
It's not what I got. I think it was intermingling of wasps and trading business cards. I think that's what I noticed anyway.
Oh, no, it's supposed to be about taking communion. It's the point of Sunday worship is the bloodless sacrifice of communion.
Speaking of low energy, let's get to Larry Hogan.
What do you mean speaking
Nothing.
of low energy?
All right, so
are you
this-
feeling low energy today?
I'm not. I'm getting it from you.
Okay.
Is something occupying your mind, Alice? And if so, would you share it with the class?
No.
Okay. So the news this weekend, the news cycle and the news shows this weekend are absolutely. And by the way, before you attack me, I'm not
Okay.
stifling, and not you, Alice. Our friends and listeners, before you attack me, I'm not stifling Alice's opinion block here. She's free to say what she wants.
Mhm.
I think we agreed that it was pretty damn lame. It's Nikki Haley. It's China Balloon Gate and China relations with the U.S. and it's the water in East Palestine or wherever that was.
Yeah.
West Palestine, whatever.
East Palestine,
Yep.
Ohio. Yep.
And then it's speculation about the 2024 election, which highly unfortunately starred Larry Hogan today. And I can't imagine. Like I am so mad at this. I am so mad at the 2024 election already. I'm so mad. First of all, you have on one side Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. One man has lost his mind and is a deeply divisive, bottom feeder, and just he's been an immoral man as in politics his whole life. That's Joe Biden. And then you have this, I don't know, this grifting halfwit in Kamala Harris, and it's awful. And then we bring in the Republicans, who we've got Larry Hogan now. I can't imagine something more freaking vanilla. At least he's handsome. It's like, God.
Is he handsome?
No, he's nothing.
Okay.
He's terrible. He's terrible. Middle of the road,
Sad.
Romney moderate, Larry Hogan, and Asa Hutchinson, and holy God. And
But can we okay, so let's backtrack to the Democrats for a second. How terrible Joe Biden is. And we were talking about this. I forget how it even came up, but we were talking about this weekend. And how is it even a question to people when he started to take questions about the China business dealings or whatever with the China balloon and everything. And somebody tried to ask about his family's ties to China. And he's like acting like that's rude or not a legit question.
Yep.
How is it even a question at all? Like, the only reason anybody in his family makes any money is because he's in politics.
Of course.
Like, there's literally...
This is the end of the press that Alice is talking about, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
This.
I expect to be speaking with President Xi, and I hope we're going to get to the bottom of this. But I make no apologies for taking down that balloon. Thank you very much.
Sir, the question was it? There's been criticism. There's been criticism that this wasn't. There's been criticism that this.
China compromised by your family's business relations.
Sir, Mr. President, there has been criticism.
Did you overreact?
Mr. President, there has been criticism that this was an overreaction that was done because of political pressure.
You come to my office and ask the question when you have more polite people.
Mr. President, why have you chosen Poland for your trip?
And he walks off.
Yeah. Give me a break, man. Okay, so, like, I realize that the Trump family for sure benefited from the presidency financially.
Well, but okay. But they didn't take checks from every other country so that every other country would have them build Trump hotels in Budapest and everywhere else. They benefited because how could they not benefit? Because they're in the hotel business. They're in the destination business. It's what they do. They've been in the business forever.
And so that's what I was going to say next is, like, at least they already had a business before Trump became the president. Like, you can say what you want about it. In a lot of ways, it was sort of a grifty business all along with Trump just sticking his name on stuff and selling it. But, like, hey, at least they were making money not just from Trump being president, but they were making money from whatever it is that they do before that. They had a legitimate business enterprise going for decades before he was ever president, and he was already rich. The entire Biden family would be absolutely nothing if Biden hadn't been a senator and then VP and then president.
Oh, totally.
Absolutely nothing. Nobody in that family would have a freaking career if it weren't for his political career.
Totally. Like Jimmy Carter's on death's door
At death's door.
Death's door currently. So, but but Alice, I know you don't remember, but Billy Carter was somebody who was selling everything. Billy Beer, he sold anything he could when Jimmy was elected president, and he was like kind of just known as a hayseed grifter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kamala's niece or whatever is like that too. She's got them. They're like selling Kamala stuff and Kamala books and whatever. Like her family members are absolutely cashing in on the Kamala stuff. But so there's like a lot of that going around. But like the Biden family also Hunter just sold influence and got jobs on the basis of absolutely nothing because his dad was vice president. I mean, huge jobs. And so it's just amusing to me, I guess. I find it odd that, like, Biden acts like, and the press runs cover for him, like, this is an absurd question that he has these business dealings with China or whatever. Like, not only is it not an absurd question, but it's, like, not even a question at all. Of course. That's how the whole family makes money. You think Hunter's just really into artwork now? Like, which
is another grift, by the way. Another, like, obviously transparently corrupt endeavor. This idea that this amateur artist suddenly is going to be featured at a gallery where you can buy his stuff, and the White House is not monitoring what's going on whatsoever.
No.
Just directing questions.
Talk to Hunter Biden's people. As though he's got like a spokesperson who's running pressers every week. But that's what's so absurd about it, right? Is that it's completely obvious and in the open.
Yes. No, absolutely.
It's not even, like, hidden. And then he gets a question about it. He's like, come on, man. Give me a break, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
In the question, you can be a Hunter Biden, conspiracy theorist or not, but that question is a pertinent question. It's a question that should be answered. And if it can be easily dismissed with facts, then easily dismiss it. But the problem is, it can't.
Of course, you can't. He can't. That's why his answer is, give me a break, man.
Yes.
Because there is no answer for it, because it is just actually straight up corruption. And yeah, I'm sure the Trump family dabbled in a little bit of that too, but...
Well, but Alice, hold on. If they did, wouldn't we know about it? wouldn't there be legions of reporters digging about the Trumps to see what Ivanka and Jared, et cetera, were up to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more like the brothers that were still running the company, because
Yeah, but
he
why
left
can't they
Eric
run
and
the-
Don Jr. to run
Well,
the
they weren't in the
company.
administration, though. Why
No,
can't
I
they run
know.
the
That's
company?
like why. But yeah, but I think that countries that wanted more influence in DC probably could do business with the Trump organization and
I would've.
gain influence that way.
I would have. Of course. You do whatever you can. If you're a
Yeah.
country, you do whatever you can. Of course you do.
Yeah, but I mean, like, don't you think probably the Trumps did a little bit of stuff like that?
I don't know. I think that when you've got
They
a
say they
relative-
do. They say, like, Ivanka got good trade deals or whatever on stuff in China. Can you not jump around when we're trying to do the show? So, yeah, I mean, I think that stuff is out there, but, the Trumps did have a business before they got into politics,
Right.
I guess, is my bigger point. So,
Yeah.
and, like, the Bidens did not. The
Right.
Bidens are purely an influence peddling organization.
Yeah, and I unfortunately I don't think there's gonna be much reporting on this stuff. And whatever, I don't want to get too much into Hunter, but it's only a matter of time. The thing is, though, in a year and a half or a year, whatever it is, the media is going to decide that they can't ignore the Hunter stuff anymore, and they're going to say, "Oh my goodness, breaking news! It appears that the president's very son was influence peddling, selling access to his father." Oh my goodness! But of course, we've been saying it forever.
Yeah.
And that's just why I'm almost sick about talking about politics, because
Yeah.
the other side's never going to absorb it and let it be true.
Yeah.
They're not interested in this search for the truth. So, like you said, they're just trying to create their own reality, which is why on these Sunday shows they're having Larry Hogan walk in and Nikki Haley, because,
Right.
like you said earlier today, is the left is creating the Republicans they want there to be.
Right.
So the left is
They want nice loser Republicans.
Yes, exactly. And Nikki Haley, she talked about having high heels, and it was a yes girl, whatever. And Larry Hogan is God. He freaking serious.
Can you, before we jump to Larry Hogan, can you play the Kamala clip that I just resent to us with Andrea Mitchell? Because so there's been a lot of talk about, obviously Don Lemon got himself into trouble with this. The talk about Nikki Haley going after the olds, saying like it's time for a new generation and all this stuff, right? So Kamala got asked about this by Andrea Mitchell.
But when you present the suggestion that anyone is saying that it is time for a new generation, and they're running against the person who is president, and when presented as though it's an attack, I would like to let us all be clear that the attack is misplaced. If the point of it is that we need leadership that is strong, because we have a strong leader in Joe Biden.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. But when you
So that's
present...
Kamala's answer to, is it time for a new generation of leadership?
There are some women, Alice, who are cursed by being good looking, and I think Kamala's good looking. I think she always has been. Thoughts on that?
I know, I think that's probably true. I think
Right.
she's kind of a lovely looking woman.
Yes, she is. And some women are cursed by that, and she is cursed by that, because she's been allowed to get away with quite a lot by simply putting forth this
Her like icy
highly
stares.
charged, icy stare, like in
That
your
little
face.
girl was me.
Exactly. And then just looking good,
Yeah.
and it hasn't helped. It's like, you know what it was like, even though he supposedly is very talented. It's like John Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a handsome guy, and it got him a long way.
Yeah.
It got him a long way to make juries cry and do this and that, etc. And he's just a dirtbag. But he also, the price that he paid is that on the big stage, he looked like a wormy, weaselly, greasy dude. And he was, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with her, it's kind of the same. She's not... They actually asked... Blinken today. I don't think you heard it, but they asked Blinken today. Somebody involved, one diplomat, U.S. diplomat involved in the China thing, said a lot of what's happening in the administration, essentially, is a lot like Veep.
Yeah.
Somebody in the administration. And Like, that is a damning thing to say.
But it is like Veep. Veep is like
Yes.
the most accurate depiction of politics ever. And I think there are so many incompetent people in that administration and so many people that are like a joke who don't know how to do the job that they're supposed to do there. Like Buttigieg is another one. Kamala is definitely one. Ron Klain was one.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, certainly Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yes.
I mean, like, it's like a whole lot of people who just
Yeah, but
don't know what to do.
I don't believe that Buttigieg is an incompetent moron. I just think he's disinterested in the role that is specified as Secretary of Transportation. I think he's interested in something else. And so he's gravitating towards where his interests are.
Which is what, exactly?
His interests are for his job is to shine a progressive light and make progressive changes and social justice, remake the Secretary of Transportation role through a lens of social justice.
Tommy in New Hampshire says you'll see the good-looking thing again with Newsom. Himbo syndrome.
Yeah, although he's got a certain like has-been greaseball thing about him. Like kind of like Matthew McConaughey, where he was good-looking like 10 years ago, and like McConaughey's never returned since he lost all that weight. Tommy, by the way, I have to ask Tommy about this, or should we wait till the?
You can ask now. Let's go for it now.
So, Tommy, I've been charging up and using the new computer. Thank you, by the way. And so we've been debating, should we use that computer as, and it's awesome, by the way. It's night and day. I can't believe how freaking fast it is and how good it sounds and good it looks. It's ridiculous. But should we use that as what I have here, which I use for audio, to record audio, or should we try to use that for video, which means Alice will be driving it. So she hates Macs, but if it's got all the horsepower.
Maybe, but here's my question. I don't think that has enough USB ports to do all our cameras.
But he gave us a thing.
What thing?
It was on the couch. You had unpacked it.
I don't think I did it.
Gloriously thrown this thing.
Okay, yeah, and I have those too. But here's my.
This is his. Is this yours or his?
No, that must have come with. He must have sent that with the computer.
Good.
But here's my problem. Is those are all going into one port, and I don't think so. Like, my problem is I have a USB multi-port thing also, but it can't do. If two cameras are plugged into one USB port, it can only have one of them on at once. It can't stream both cameras into one USB port. There's not enough.
Maybe that's because your thing's a loser. Because you already got a Windows machine.
I don't think so. I think that that's a limitation of USB ports. And maybe that one plugs into, it looks like USB-C, but I don't know.
Two things. And I have two things here.
Yeah, but that's my concern is that, like, even on mine, I have 3 USB ports and I have 2 cameras. We have 4 cameras. I have 2 cameras plugged into one of the USB ports with that thing. And I can't. Like, it can only do one camera at a time. They can't both be on at once. If I turn on one camera, the other one goes off.
I got to tell you something. I have to tell you something.
What? You have to tell me something?
How do I put this? You know I love you, right?
Yes.
And do you love me?
Yes.
Would you like to be married to me forever?
Yes.
Would you like to stay married and have a nice family and live together in this house?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having an affair.
Oh, really?
No.
With who?
The waitress today who was cute. Remember her? Wasn't she cute?
She was very cute.
I'm not having an affair. So there you go. I've hit you with the big thing. So now this should be fine. You know that medical accessory from the pharmacy section of the place I shop at today that I brought home?
No.
It's centered rather big in our day.
What?
You know the thing in the box today that I brought you today that we put to use today that...
yes. Okay.
We've had another situation.
How so?
Because today at the grocer's freezer, I'm not saying which one.
Okay.
Don't say which one.
Okay.
I bought milk. I bought that. I bought a whole thing of paper towels so we can clean our kitchen since we've had a great day, by the way, which we'll get to in a second. And I got bacon. I got fruit for the kids. I got stuff for you. I got this and this, etc. And once again, I had to put that in my pocket.
You stole that?
I didn't knowingly steal anything, but I didn't pay for it.
You're going to get caught on camera one of these times and arrested.
You know what? I figured, though, Alice, I go to that place so often that, come on, let's go. I mean, they're making hand over fist money on me. So that's rationalization point 1. 2, is there a God?
Of course.
Okay. And he can make big decisions, right?
Yeah.
He's made this year pretty hard on me, I think.
Okay.
I've gone from high blood pressure medication to 73 medications.
Okay.
Okay, I'm now in therapy, and, you know, at any point in time, I could be in the streets of Newburyport, the only homeless man in Newburyport, drinking in the corner, yelling at kids walking by.
Okay.
I think that maybe it was God provided me with this item. Thoughts?
No.
Okay, so
I
the
think
other
you're
thing
a thief.
that is incorrect, Alice. That is incorrect. You're
so-
a thief.
but-
You know what you steal from me.
Tom, the other thing Tom was vaguely referencing is that we sold our treadmill today.
Yes.
Our treadmill, which has served as a place to set stuff in our kitchen now for 5 years almost, 4.5 years.
Brought this a great treadmill. It's a heavy duty one. We
It's
bought
good
it for
for fats.
$1,300. We bought it 5 years ago because I told Alice that I thought I would be dead soon because I was getting so fat unless we got this treadmill. Because my good friend bought a treadmill and just walked on it like for an hour a day and like lost like 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'll do that, what he did. And so we got it, and we like just barely used it ever. And my kids called it the treadmill, and they were interested in using it, but we didn't for 5 years. But we sold it
And
today.
they kept trying to like lose the emergency stop thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
it can't run without and all the different stuff.
And it didn't look good. We have it before there was a hole in the roof before it rained and poured into our kitchen, which it does now. The kitchen was lovely looking, and the treadmill just looked like hell.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway,
So it's gone. We got 500 simoleons for that, Alice.
yeah, it was. I hate it. We did it on Facebook Marketplace. I hated having to interact with people, but the guy who bought it was lovely and made everything super easy and was super nice. And he and his brother, took it out. It was gone. He Venmo'd me.
Yeah. And it was a
How
good
was
deal
it?
for them and a good deal for us that it's gone. And
Yeah.
It's a great thing. It's a good thing. Now, if we can just get rid of the damn table we put outside with the free sign, come on.
Yeah, that should be easier in theory.
If you're in
'cause it's free.
Blueberryport or West Blueberry or Blueberry, go to a street and grab a table that's got marble on the top. It's a high-value thing. Don't make me have to illegally dump that in my illegal dumpster.
Yeah, we just did a whole research thing because there's a sofa that we want to get rid of that's in rough shape. No one wants it, even if we couldn't pay somebody to take it. But the only way to get rid of large items in our town is to wait. Like every other month, they have one day of that month when they'll pick up large items, and you need to pay them $40 to do it, and you can only do one each time.
It's terrible.
So that's insane. I mean, I guess unless you get like a Bagster dumpster thing, one of the bag dumpsters.
Do they do couches?
I think you can put whatever in there.
Has Tommy talked to us?
He says that it can do multiple cameras onto that because it's USB to Thunderbolt. So it can do 2 streams.
I mean,
He
we'll
says
give
he
it-
can talk to us offline. How many USB ports are on that thing?
Oh, it's downstairs.
No,
So-
it's right there.
Oh, this?
Yes.
Well, okay. So there are 2 normal USB ports, 1 USB-C, 1 Thunderbolt.
Okay, but there's 4 cameras.
Okay. All right. Should we do the chat?
Sure, we can do the chat and then we can get to Larry Hogan and some other stuff on the other side
No, we
for our
started talking about
Patreon
Larry
peeps.
Hogan.
Yeah, but we never played the audio or did that.
Audio of Larry Hogan?
Yeah.
We're gonna play audio of Larry Hogan? That's a bonus. That's awful.
Okay, well, then we can just go.
Okay, let's do the chat. Okay. You look lovely, by the way.
Thanks.
How you feeling?
Fine.
I
Any
really-
reason why I wouldn't?
I really enjoyed our time together.
I enjoyed my time with you, too.
You're lovely.
Thanks.
Your
You're lovely, too.
Your buttocks is silky soft.
Don't say-
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Yes? Are you going to do the Chelsea Fire Wicked Hotline Chat? Brought to you by Chelsea Fire Wicked Hot Sauce. Awesome hot sauce. Great clean ingredients. You do not have to sacrifice heat for flavor. You get both in this one sauce. Plus, they donate 5% of the proceeds to the Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Find it at Market Basket, Big Y, ChelseaFireHotSauce.com, and let us know how you like it.
I thought I was listening to the Burn Barrel podcast. Little did I know I stumbled upon a hidden secret episode of the 1570 Project.
Oh.
A lot of complaints
your
like that.
Interview with Stephen Clavin was,
Stephen.
wow, way above your audience's head. We're pretty base here. Why don't you just go out, get drunk, wander the streets of Newburyport with nips in your pocket, and we can all get back to our normal, ignorant lives. Hey, you have a good one, guys.
Well, that's what's good, though, about Spencer's book, is that everybody can learn something. It's for normal people, too.
Well, let me tell you something. You're not the only one who...
There were several comments about.
There were several comments. Also, I would say that one Tom Shattuck still is quite wondering exactly
what the podcast
what we talked about
the other day.
But he was nice to talk to. He was lovely.
He
a
was
lovely guy.
fantastic.
Alice gets that. That's her whole thing, and etc. But yeah, I thought he was great. He was a good guy. You know, we do a lot of shows. We're gonna dip in our hands into a lot of ponds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just come from a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day in a can of line. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free.
Are you familiar with? I've seen these guys in concert.
I've heard that song.
Are you familiar with the presidents of the United States of America?
I mean, not really, but I have heard that song.
Do you know what the acronym stands for?
No.
POT USA. Presidents of the United States of America were in about 95 or 96 were they like the hottest band around and coolest and weirdest. They like middle-aged guys or guys in their late 30s, whatever. Very cool, very interesting. They had a few hits. There was one guitarist like and one bassist who had only two strings or something. It was weird. Very 90s. Very cool. People don't remember how big they were, but they were.
Okay.
Jesus.
Hey, guys.
Hold on. I'm going to go over here first.
Okay.
Tim.
Maybe 10 minutes into the latest BBP with Spencer Clavin.
Mm-hmm.
Few things I feel the need to point out. One, Tom, you can never, ever, ever make fun of my accent again. You want to be highbrow, philosopher thinker. First of all, philosophers, I think I'd rather spend a summer with a sheep-loving Taliban crew than have to listen to another GD philosopher in my life. How tiring, pedantic, pedestrian. Oh,
I gotta be honest. I don't even know what pedantic means. What does it mean?
Pedantic is like stuck on details, like talking down to people.
Really?
Yeah, like
geez.
It's pedantic. Like when I correct people on Twitter, if they use the wrong there while they're telling me.
Oh, I see. That is pedantic.
That their show, that our show sucks or whatever. You know.
My God. Okay, and the name. Yeah, I'm gonna pick on this name now. Since you guys pick on my accent, I'm gonna pick on his name and his vernacular. Spencer Clavin.
Love him, Tim. Love him.
Talk about the annals of douchey names. You're going to put Spencer Clavin right up there. And then the vernacular. All I could hear was George Takei, Sulu, if you will.
Yes.
That's all I could hear in my head. My nieces. Regime. Good God. That guy is a bore.
Oh, no.
I love him.
Anyway,
Tim.
I appreciate you having him on, actually. I'm probably going to get the book at the library. And God knows I'm not going to buy it, but some of the stuff was interesting.
Thank you, Tim. I gotta
I
say,
think you'll love it.
I gotta say, yeah, he's I don't understand a lot, but I like him. I thought he was cool, and he's just a lovely guy. He's just great. But that is Alice's bread and butter. Spencer Clavin is married to a man, so Alice's chances of hooking up with him are, I would think, minimal. But if she was going to hook up with somebody, Spencer would have a good shot. I think it's fair to say. If he could talk to you about that stuff night and day.
I guess so.
Well, how does that work? Because Geary is not like that. But that's a different thing that scratches a different itch.
I think a lot of this is made up, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Play along, buddy. You know damn well. Do you or do you not think Geary's cute and funny?
He's very funny.
Okay. Do you not think Spencer Clavin is lovely to talk to?
He is lovely.
Does he speak to your heart?
We have a lot of similar interests, I would say.
God, somebody's lured up.
Hey guys, it's the Cape again.
Hey.
I think I misspoke the name of your last guest.
Yes.
My last message.
Steven.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say, Tom, good luck listening to Alice read you Cliff Clavin's book. I'm going to watch some paint dry.
Holy God, Alice. Congratulations on that. Wow, I'm distancing myself now.
So
this is what I got.
Episode now.
I think Justin's about to give us a torpedo too.
So this is what I got to say about Nikki Haley.
Okay.
I think she's quite attractive. You know?
There you go.
She seems like the type that would know how to make a man's toes curl.
Really?
And
I think so.
and my dad was excited about her throwing her hat in the ring, and I was just had to remind him that she was Romney-esque.
That's certainly true. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, she believed the Bubba Wallace thing, so that's
Oh,
a good deal breaker.
that is a tough one. I totally agree with you. That is a tough one. My goodness. All right, Alice. You look lovely.
Thanks.
You're glowing. Why?
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Anything happening?
No. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry nobody liked the Spencer Clavin. Jeez, I had so much. It's like one of my favorite episodes.
I know.
I made Tom rewatch it with me that night. We watched it again. I thought it was awesome. I had so much fun. But, like different episode every day. So, if you don't like one, you'll like another one. Can't tell you what to do. That's at burnbarrelpodcast.com. You can find them wherever you listen to podcasts.
C'est la vie.
Ready?